On 3, Tuesday, I'm back at this again. Now let's do this. Now we're going to talk about a little bit about an inverse. If I've got f of x, which is this, first write this as y. And then for an inverse, you swap. This becomes x, this becomes y. Then you're going to make y the subject, transpose that, and then transpose that. Then y is going to plus minus of this. So which means y is plus minus this. That's how you get an inverse. But now, another thing that you need to take note here. If this is going to be my inverse, to draw this graph, let's first check what should happen in the square root. For the square root, it must not be negative, which means negative x plus 4 should not be 0, which is what we did in grade 11, that which value of x will this thing be undefined. It's when under the square root we have a negative. So if I'm going to solve for this, I'm going to get x greater than 4. So if I'm going to substitute the first number for x here to be 4, what's going to happen? Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Square root of 0 is 0. So when it's 4, it's going to be 0. Then if I substitute, for example, 0, then what's going to happen? If I put 0, I'm going to get plus or minus 2. Minus 2 and positive 2. So my graph will turn here. Notice from the original. This was the original. This is the inverse. Notice we had 0 and 4. What did we have now? 4 and 0. So it becomes the inverse. We're swapping these coordinates. When x was 2 and 0 here, what happened to the inverse? The inverse gave us 0 and minus 2, which is here. When x here was minus 2 and 0, the inverse gave us minus 0 and minus 2. When x was 2 and 0, this is 0 and 2. So you can see the swapping of the coordinates. That's what we mean by inverse. So the graph will turn like this and go like that. That's the inverse. The inverse of this graph is like this. Notice that it's pointing down. It's going down where y is negative. So what happens to the inverse? The inverse is going to the right where x is negative, which means conversely. So if my graph would be looking where this graph, the original is pointing where y is positive, the inverse will be pointing where x is positive. So that's how you can quickly draw the inverse of this graph. So if I can draw this one and then it looks like this, the inverse will be going in that direction. So just know how to find that. Then now, the last thing we're going to have to talk about here is the relation. That's going to be on the next video, awareness.